Hey there, welcome back. Um, so in this video we're going to work on the products page and try to make it look just a little bit better. So the first things we're going to do is make these pictures a little bit bigger and try to make these product headings, they don't really stand out as a heading. So let's hop on that. So the first thing we're going to do is to make the pictures bigger is come in the VB code, and that's where we actually write the HTML string for the product that gets shoved into the, I can't remember if we use a list view or whatever we use to display this. So anyway, let's change it to 340 pixels. And then over here, to make our heading stand out a little bit more, we will come here to the product title. And right now its font weight's normal, but its color is gray because we, I don't know if you remember on the master page, we wrote a CSS rule for all of our H3s. And these are H3s to make them gray. So I'm going to change this back to black. And this rule will take precedence. So anyway, let's excuse me. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so that looks better. The next thing I want to do though is move every other picture. So we're going to do something called the alternating item template. So on the first one we'll have the picture. I'm actually going to do the first one, the picture to the right, then the second one, the picture to the left, and the third one to the picture on the right, and the fourth one on the left, and so forth. So let's show you how to set up this alternating item template. This is pretty easy to do. It's inside our list view. We just come down inside here and choose an alternating item template. And then the alternating item template will just be used every other time for every other record. So we're going to copy all this and paste it down in here. And then the one thing that will change is the function that we call the VB code to write that image tag. We'll just write a new VB function. We'll call this one check image alternate. So to get this new function, we'll come over here and just copy all this code, paste it in, and call this one alternate. Okay, so here's our alternate function. What I'm actually going to do, I want this first one to be on the right, and the second one we'll leave on the left. So let's take a look at this. And this looks pretty good. The other thing I want to fix with this is that the heading on this case, the picture floats to the left, but since the heading is written before the picture floats, the heading's still over here on the margin. So I want the heading to appear over here. So to get that, what I'm going to do is come in here on both our templates. We'll do this on both of them to make it consistent. Is we'll copy this heading code, or actually cut it, and put it down here after the picture, so it'll be after the picture floats. So it will float to the new margin after the picture floats over and creates a new margin. Same thing down here. We'll paste it here. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so that's looking better. Not quite sure why this one has a space here and this one doesn't. But the next thing I want to do is actually put a box around each of these product sections too, just so you can kind of tell it's the product section. Then we'll come back and take a look at moving those guys. So to do this, what I'm going to do is add a div around, just put a box around this. So I'm going to say then class equals item box, and we'll move the close div down here. Then we'll just copy this div and then get a close tag to put down here at the end of it. And then up here, what we'll do in our style rules is we'll say for dot item box, we'll use the border shortcut properties. So we'll set all three at once here. And our border style will be, border width we'll do first. We'll make it a 2-pixel border, and the style will be solid, and the color will be, let's make it gray instead of black. And let's just set that for now, and then we can come back and we'll take a look at it and then set the margins and padding and that kind of stuff for it. So this draws the box. I'm kind of happy with the way this looks. So let's go set our padding, and we'll set the padding for the box. I think we'll set this all around, maybe make it 1x, and then we want some space between boxes, so I'm just going to set the margin on the outside. So remember, padding's on the inside. So for this box, we'll set the padding, and if you would just set one number, remember this will be all 4 sides. And then for the margin, I'm actually going to set margin bottom and set this to like 1.5, and we'll try this out and see if that's enough, or if we need more. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, so that looks good. What we might do now is I'd like these guys to move up, my headings to move up to align with the top of the picture. And I also would like a little more buffer around the picture itself. So let's go take care of that. So those headings, again, those things are called product titles. I'm going to set the margin top on that to 0 to try to scoot those up. And then on the product image, this is the padding for the image. Looks like we got a number on the, this is top right. So we got some padding on the right. Let's just make it all the way around. We'll just use one number again, and we'll set the same padding all the way around that product image. So let's test this. Okay, so I'm happy with the padding around the picture. I'm not quite sure why these headings aren't moving up, but it's looking okay. It's looking okay to me. Let's just go check the code, because we have a space between this heading and this text, and we don't have a heading here, or sorry, extra space there, but they're both headings. So let's see if we mess things up. That's H3. Got our description label. H3 and description label. That's kind of curious. Why it does that? I'm wondering if it's maybe in the text itself. But let's just leave it here. I think this is looking decent. I'll figure out the other stuff out later. I want to make you struggle through this. So again, all we were doing was making this products page look better, but I think this looks a lot better.